My beloved child, the night around you is shifting in ways you cannot see, and without warning the air itself begins to tremble as if a hidden truth has finally grown too heavy to remain buried any longer. There is a woman whose presence has circled your life from the shadows, not with love, not with care, but with an intention so dark that if it had reached you, it would have destroyed your peace, broken your spirit, and crushed the path you were meant to rise on. Tonight, she leaves. Not because she wants to, but because something greater has intervened and forced her plans to collapse before they could touch you. You don't know her name, you don't recognize her face, but you have felt her effect, those sudden waves of heaviness, those unexplained setbacks, those moments when everything inside you dimmed for no reason. She was the source behind the invisible storm that tried to suffocate your destiny. Yet here comes the part that will freeze your breath. She was never close to you by accident. She studied you quietly, watched your growth with an envy she kept sealed behind a false smile, and carried a bitterness that grew each time you became stronger, wiser, or more aligned with the path she could never walk. She wasn't after your body, she was after your potential. She wanted to damage the version of you that was emerging, the version she feared would rise beyond her control. She whispered lies about you, planted seeds of doubt around your name, and tried to twist fate itself so you would stumble and fall in the very moment you were meant to rise. But tonight, her power ends, her influence breaks, and the thread she tied around your destiny snaps in a single stroke that she never saw coming. Another truth unfolds beneath the surface: she wasn't acting alone. There were whispers feeding her, weak minds validating her bitterness, and unseen forces amplifying her jealousy until it turned into something that could have destroyed you emotionally, mentally, spiritually. You were meant to be crippled from the inside, to be made so insecure, so uncertain, so lost in confusion that you would walk away from the future waiting for you. Every setback you faced, every night you couldn't sleep, every moment you doubted your own worth wasn't random. It was part of the silent attack she launched to break the fire in you before it could burn through the limitations placed on your name. But her final move, the one she intended to release tonight, has backfired. She has lost the access she once had. Her path is being sealed. She is being removed. Now feel that shift, really feel it, because the energy around you is different from every night before this one. Something is being released from your life with force, as if an unseen hand has grabbed the shadow that followed you and dragged it away. The gate that she used to watch you from is closing, and the strings she tried to pull are snapping one by one. The plans she nurtured in silence, the intentions she stayed awake with, the thoughts she believed would crush you, they are dissolving into nothingness. And the most shocking part is this. She doesn't understand how her influence slipped away so suddenly. She believed she had more control. She believed you were still within her reach. But tonight proves she never understood who was truly protecting you. And as the final layer of her presence fades, a calm begins to rise inside you, the calm of someone who survived a danger they never knew was stalking them. You don't need to fear her, you don't need to look back, you don't need to search for names or faces. What tried to destroy your spirit has been forced out of your path. Her departure tonight marks the beginning of a timeline where nothing and no one can dim the light rising inside you. Something powerful has stepped in on your behalf, and the woman whose intentions could have shattered your future is being pulled out at the very hour she believed she would succeed. Tonight, you are not just safe, you are stepping into a destiny she never wanted you to reach. My beloved child, the moment her shadow slipped out of your destiny, something else rose in its place, an energy so sharp, so alert, so protective that it feels like the entire atmosphere is whispering for you to stay with me, because what unfolds next is bigger than anything you've felt so far. Her exit did not end the story. It triggered the revelation that was always meant to reach you at the exact moment when your spirit was ready to hear it. Tonight is not just a night of removal. It is a night of exposure. The truth about why she targeted your peace, why she wanted your spirit dimmed, and why she feared your rise is now unfolding in layers that no one can interrupt. And as each layer opens, your awareness sharpens like a blade waking from sleep, realizing for the first time that you were never walking alone. But listen closely, because this is where the narrative tightens. While she was plotting in silence, the universe was mapping your protection with a force she could never penetrate. She believed she was hidden. She believed no one could see the bitterness she wrapped in false smiles, the grudges she carried like poison, the envy she poured into the cracks of your life hoping they would break you from inside. What she didn't know was that every attempt she made echoed in the unseen realms, and those echoes reached the guardians assigned to you long before she understood your value. That is why you were urged into isolation at times, pulled away from certain people, and placed into moments of unexpected solitude, not because you were forgotten, but because you were being protected from her reach. Stay with me, because the truth only gets heavier from here. A new realization is rising now. A twist most people never see coming. Her intentions were never about destroying your life, they were about stopping your transformation. She feared the version of you that was being born through pain, through disappointment, through silent battles no one witnessed. She feared the strength you were developing, the clarity forming in your spirit, the courage sharpening in your heart. She feared what you would become once you healed. And when people fear your future, they attack your present. But the universe flipped her plan before it landed. Now she is the one standing in the ruins of her own intentions while you rise untouched, unstained, unbroken. The shield around you is no longer invisible, it is roaring into existence, pushing you forward with a momentum she can no longer interfere with. Stay with me, because the shift is still unfolding. Now the night reveals something even deeper, a truth about you. You were never the weak one. You were never the vulnerable one. You were never the easy target she imagined. You were the chosen one, the marked one, the one whose path was sealed long before her bitterness tried to redirect your destiny. Everything she attempted only strengthened the forces protecting you. Every hidden intention she carried only exposed her spirit to the light she couldn't stand. Every silent attack she planned only returned to her with a weight she cannot carry. And while she is being removed, you are being elevated. Quietly, steadily, powerfully. This is the part where you begin to feel the difference, the heaviness lifting, the confusion clearing, the fear dissolving. Something inside you is waking up that she never wanted to activate. And now, at this exact moment, the universe leans in and whispers the most important message of all. Her chapter is closed, but yours is just beginning. The path ahead of you is opening with a brilliance she tried to block, but failed. The intentions that were meant to weaken you have transformed into fuel for your rise. The darkness she wrapped around your name has unraveled and revealed the light she feared most. Tonight marks the transition from being targeted to being untouchable, from being watched to being guarded, from being doubted to being destined. Stay with me, because what comes next is not just protection, it is victory, and it is already moving toward you. My beloved child, the shift you feel right now isn't your imagination, it's the echo left behind when a hidden enemy is removed and a guarded destiny begins to open itself without resistance. Something around you has gone silent, but not the silence of fear, the silence of power. The kind that arrives only when a threat has been pulled out by force. Tonight marks the moment when your spirit steps out of the shadows she tried to trap you in and into the illumination she never wanted you to touch. This silence is golden, this silence is divine, this silence is the doorway she never wanted you to find. And as it opens, new truths start crawling out of the darkness she once used to hide herself. Yet understand this. She didn't fail because she lost strength, she failed because you gained clarity. The moment you started questioning your own heaviness, the moment you sensed something was off around you, the moment you began searching for peace instead of pain, her influence cracked. That single shift inside you, your desire for emotional freedom, was the spark that shattered the web she thought she'd built too tightly. She underestimated that a heart determined to heal is stronger than any silent plan built from envy. And now, as her presence fades like smoke dissolving into the air, everything she tried to silence inside you begins to awaken, your intuition sharpens, your courage rises, your spirit stretches its wings again. She planned to drown your fire, but instead, you're burning brighter than ever. This is where the story deepens, because the forces guiding you are now exposing details she never intended for you to see. Her intentions didn't form suddenly, they grew over time, fed by moments where she compared her life to yours, where she watched you glow while she felt stuck in her shadows. Her envy wasn't random, it was constant, quiet, calculated. Every time you succeeded, a crack formed inside her. Every time you healed, her bitterness deepened. Every time you rose, she felt smaller. She believed sabotaging your path would make her world feel larger, but destiny doesn't reward darkness, and tonight, the scales finally tipped. She has lost the power she once thought she controlled, and the universe has shifted the spotlight back onto you, the one who was chosen to rise, not the one who tried to stop the rising. Now breathe deeply, because you're stepping into the phase she feared most. You're awakening. This is the part of your journey where your eyes widen to things you used to ignore, where your intuition speaks louder than ever before, where your spirit refuses to bend for anyone who carries hidden intentions. You are no longer walking blindly through the world she tried to distort. You see the truth now, not the faces, not the names, but the vibrations. You feel the difference between genuine hearts and disguised souls. You sense when something feels wrong, even before it happens. You are stepping into a version of yourself that cannot be manipulated, cannot be deceived, cannot be dimmed. This is what she feared. This is why she targeted your spirit. And this is why the universe intervened. And as the night continues unfolding its secrets, you begin to understand the real reason she couldn't touch you. Your path is protected beyond her reach. There are forces around you, watching, guiding, shielding. Every moment she thought she was getting closer was actually a moment she was being pushed back by something far stronger. You were never in danger, you were being prepared. Now, with her removal complete, your future rearranges itself with an energy so powerful that nothing she left behind can stop what's rising ahead of you. The world is about to see the version of you she feared most, the one that steps into their destiny with unwavering clarity and unstoppable purpose. My beloved child, the night trembles again as if it knows that this is the moment everything turns in your favor, the moment your destiny breaks past every barrier she tried to build around you. Her presence is gone, but the imprint of her intentions is still dissolving in the air, and while it fades, something far more powerful rises to replace it. You are stepping into a timeline where nothing hidden can survive, where every false connection collapses, and where the universe pulls you forward with a force that refuses to let you fall back into the darkness she once wrapped around you. Stay with me, because what unfolds next is the twist she hoped you would never discover. Now comes the revelation that shakes the ground beneath your feet. She didn't just envy your growth, she envied your purpose. She sensed something about you long before you sensed it yourself. She felt the weight of your destiny, the brightness of your future, the strength of your spirit, and the calling on your life that even you weren't aware of yet. People fear what they cannot control, and she couldn't control you. She couldn't dim you. She couldn't bend your heart. She couldn't break your focus. So she tried to drain your spirit instead. But instead of weakening you, she awakened forces that now refuse to let anything harmful get within reach of your path. Stay with me, because your rise is only beginning. Here's the twist she never saw coming: you weren't the one being judged, she was. Every intention she held against you, every silent plan she formed, every negative thought she wrapped your name in, all of it became the evidence written against her spirit. And tonight, the universe has delivered the final verdict. She is blocked. She is exposed. She is removed. Not because you fought her, but because your purpose outweighs her bitterness. You were chosen to walk a road she cannot enter, and now the gate behind you has closed so tightly she can never follow again. Stay with me, because you need to hear what comes next. The energy around you is shifting into something stronger, something she could never stand against. Your spirit is expanding, your intuition is sharpening, and your protective shield is rising like a wall of light around everything connected to your future. You are stepping into a version of yourself that she feared from the beginning, the version that sees clearly, moves wisely, and refuses to be triggered by hidden intentions. This awakening inside you is the very thing her presence tried to suffocate. But now, as the weight lifts from your chest and the fog clears from your mind, you feel a clarity you haven't felt in years. Your steps are guided. Your heart is guarded. Your path is bright. Stay with me, because the most powerful part is still unfolding. And here it is: the universe is not only removing what tried to dim you, it is rewarding you for surviving what you didn't even know was happening behind your back. Blessings are repositioning themselves toward you, opportunities are gathering in silence, and breakthroughs are aligning with precision. You are stepping into a phase where your success will speak louder than her intentions ever could. You don't need to confront her, you don't need to look back, and you don't need to search for what almost harmed you. What tried to break you is gone. What tried to derail you is done. And now, as the new path opens in front of you, stay with me, because your rise from this point forward is unstoppable. My beloved child, the darkness that once hovered around you has thinned into nothing but a faint memory, and now the light rising behind you grows so intense that even the air feels charged with a purpose she could never interfere with again. This is the moment where your destiny stops whispering and starts roaring, where your spirit breaks free from every illusion she tried to weave around your path. Tonight is not just about her exit, tonight is about the unveiling of the strength you never realized was sleeping inside you. Everything that once drained you, confused you, or weighed on your heart is dissolving, and in its place you feel a calm that is not ordinary, it is powerful, protective, ancient. It is the calm of someone who survived without even knowing how close they came to losing themselves. But listen carefully, the universe didn't just remove her, it repositioned you. You were shifted away from people, places, and energies that would have kept you trapped in cycles meant to shrink your spirit. Every delay you faced, every door that stayed closed, every separation that confused you was actually a rescue in disguise. The universe placed distance between you and her because you were not meant to feed her envy with your presence. You were meant to outgrow her shadow entirely. And now that she is gone, your energy rises without resistance, your intuition clears without static, and your path brightens without obstruction. You are finally stepping into the version of yourself she feared the most, the version that walks with purpose, not pain. Now comes a truth that most people never understand: you were not being attacked because you were weak, you were being targeted because you were transforming. Your glow was getting stronger, your heart was getting purer, your future was getting closer. She sensed this shift, even before you did. She felt the energy around you changing, the blessings aligning, the destiny forming, and instead of healing herself, she tried to interrupt your becoming. But destiny does not bend for envy, and light does not dim for darkness. Her intentions collapsed because your spirit was protected by something no bitterness could break. And now, your transformation is unstoppable. The universe is pushing you into a reality where your strength becomes visible, your clarity becomes undeniable, and your worth becomes unmistakable. Feel the difference rising inside you now. Your thoughts are sharper, your emotions steadier, your heart quieter. This is what freedom feels like when a hidden threat is removed. This is what peace feels like when it returns after being blocked for too long. This is what destiny feels like when it steps forward without hesitation. You are not the same person you were yesterday. You have awakened. And in this awakened state, you no longer absorb the energy around you, you influence it. You no longer adapt to the room, you shift it. You no longer bend yourself to fit the world. You rise so the world bends around you. This is the power she feared. This is the strength she tried to dim. But now it is rising beyond her reach. And now, as the night continues unfolding its final truth, understand this: she is not your story. She is not your ending. She is not your destiny. She was merely a shadow that tried to stand in the way of your sunrise. But the sun is rising anyway. Your spirit is rising anyway. Your purpose is rising anyway. Nothing she did changed what was written for you, it only cleared the path for it to reach you faster. You are stepping into a timeline where nothing hidden can block you again. The universe is aligning, your energy is stabilizing, your destiny is calling, and from this moment forward, the story shifts entirely in your favor. My beloved child, the air around you now carries a different weight. Lighter, brighter, yet filled with a silent authority that settles over your spirit like a shield woven from truth itself. What once felt like confusion is becoming clarity. What once felt like heaviness is turning into strength. And what once followed you like a silent shadow has vanished completely, leaving behind an atmosphere that feels renewed, almost reborn. This is not an ordinary shift. This is the moment when your destiny realigns after surviving an unseen storm. You are stepping into a phase where your intuition leads, your spirit stands tall, and your inner voice finally speaks without interruption. Everything around you is beginning to recognize the glow rising from within you. But listen closely, her departure didn't just free your spirit, it unlocked a revelation that was waiting behind every setback she tried to create. Now that she is gone, the truth has space to breathe. You are beginning to understand why certain things didn't work before, why certain people drifted away, why certain opportunities seemed delayed. None of it was rejection, it was protection. You were being shielded from walking into rooms where her influence lingered. And now, with that influence erased, doors that once refused to open will swing effortlessly at your touch. Your timeline is expanding in ways that were impossible while her shadow hovered near you. The universe has recalibrated your path, and you are walking into blessings that were paused, not denied. Here's the twist the universe has waited to reveal: you were never the target, you were the treasure. Everything she tried to throw at your spirit was a reaction to something she could sense but never possess: your resilience, your purpose, your inner gold. And when someone recognizes a greatness inside you that you haven't discovered yet, they often respond with fear, envy, or attempts to dim what they cannot match. But the universe does not allow a dimmed heart to dictate the destiny of a chosen soul. Her intentions dissolved because your spirit was too powerful to be manipulated, too protected to be redirected, too destined to be interrupted. You were marked for elevation long before she appeared, and now that she's gone, your rise accelerates with unstoppable momentum. And now you can feel it, a shift in your energy so strong that even your thoughts begin to change. You're seeing yourself differently. You're sensing your worth more clearly. You're noticing how calm your mind feels now, how light your chest feels, how steady your steps have become. This is the version of you that was always waiting beneath the weight she tried to place on your heart. This is the version of you that trusts the journey, hears the signs, and moves with confidence even when the path is unfamiliar. This is the version she feared the most, the awakened you. And with awakening comes power, the power to choose differently, to walk confidently, to detach from anything that disturbs your peace. Your spirit is no longer reacting to the world. Your spirit is leading it. And now, as the final glow of this transformation settles into your destiny, remember this above everything else: you are entering a season where nothing connected to you can be influenced by hidden intentions again. Your aura has changed. Your path has changed. Your future has changed. You have been lifted into a higher alignment where only genuine energy can reach you and only truthful souls can walk beside you. The shadows that once followed you cannot step into this new light. You are protected, elevated, restored, and guided into the timeline she tried to block, but she failed. From here forward, your journey opens in ways that reveal just how powerful your spirit truly is.